Hello folks, this is me, the Trashmand here. Today I'm going to be further discussing my Halo Marathon. I have beaten the original Trilogy and ODST, and I'm going to be going on to Reach, and I just want to give my thoughts of the original Trilogy altogether. First starting with, we all know how we feel about Halo 1, so I just want to start with Halo 2. Halo 2 is probably, I was, for a few days I was debating whether I liked it more than 3 or not, or which one I liked better. And I've come to the conclusion that I like 3 more. Even though like when I played 2, and I still think of 2, 2 I think has the consistently best missions, like consistently good missions in the series. And 2, like I genuinely didn't have a single point of the game where I really wanted the game to end. In fact, I wanted it to last longer. Um, I think Halo 2 is absolutely fantastic and an actual just a must-play video game. It is probably just a top 15 video game for me. I adored playing Halo 2. Playing as the Arbiter, who's voiced by Keith David, was so legendary. Just the fact that it just changes up like a lot of the combat encounters because you get to like turn invisible, you get access to the energy sword, all that stuff, and a lot more Covenant weapons. And it just gives you a lot. It just gives you a better look into how the Covenant runs. And I loved it. It was so fun. The campaign and the visuals were absolutely incredible. Like I think it is the best written campaign out of them all. That's just what I have to say. I think that the campaign in Halo 2 is absolutely, like, unironically just a well-written game. Like, a really well-written game. I really like it. The cutscenes are amazing. The anniversary graphics I actually thought were better in Halo 2 than they were in 1. Because I think 2's at the very least just kept part of the art style together, switching back. So I am glad for that. I actually did enjoy it, and I know it's I I think my favorite part of playing 3 was that I wasn't getting slighted for ever being on anything anniversary related. To be honest, I think I think just I don't really care how I play the game. Like, but graphics wise, I like the looks of like the new weapons and stuff like that, and I like the sounds. And I like the older style as well. It's just, sometimes I like to switch in between. Like I don't know why I was getting slighted so hard sometimes for playing on anything related to that. I know like the old art style, it maybe doesn't fully encapsulate it, but it still looks good. It still looks great. But yeah, no, yeah, Halo 2's campaign is absolutely just top notch and is a must play. I haven't played much multiplayer of any of the games, so I can't say anything there. But campaign wise, I really liked 2. It was an absolutely fantastic game where it just had an amazing story, amazing missions. Fighting the Scarab was a really fun mission for me. And same with the Oracle. Despite learning that a lot of people hate the Oracle, I really liked it. I really, really liked the Oracle. It was such a fun level. Even with like the elevator sections, I still enjoyed it quite a bit. Maybe I won't on a next playthrough, but I really enjoyed it a lot. It was super fun. It was just a nice change. It was just always a nice change of pace playing as the Arbiter, because the Arbiter is probably my favorite. Even more so, like I think I even like him more than Master Chief, just because I love Keith David. Master Chief's my obviously second favorite character in the series. But like the Arbiter is one of the coolest characters ever, um, in the Halo series. But yeah, now on to Halo 3, which final thoughts of 2. It's one of the best games I've ever played, and it is genuinely incredible. The improvements they've made, the new weapons that they put in, the dual wielding, all that stuff just was so incredible. But going into Halo 3, I I went in expecting a lot, and I got a lot out of it. And the reason I'm going into 3 saying that I like it better than 2 is because I had a hard time debating which one was better. I was having them tied at first until just yesterday, I played through Halo 3 again. In one sitting. In one sitting, I played through Halo 3 again, which actually on my Halo 3 stream, I played the whole game in one sitting, about 6.5 hours. And it is just so replayable. It's so fun. The missions are even better on your next playthrough of it. The only thing I'm gonna say is Halo 3 has a worse written story than 2, is what I'll say. And it sucked that I couldn't play as the Arbiter, but it was cool playing with my uncle, on Halo 3 and actually beating and actually beating Halo 3 with him in one sitting, because it has been a while since I've actually gotten to do that, and it's it was very fun. It's even better on co-op. It's probably my favorite co-op Halo experience I've had. Even though I haven't had many, it is super fun. It's a very great game, and there's so much goofy physics, and I don't know. I'm just gonna say something. I realized something of why the Bungie trilogy is so good. The Bungie trilogy is really good, and the games just get progressively better and better because of one thing, I think. So, like a lot of people say with sequels, like you see a lot of sequels, they just try to give players, oh, new movement options, new this, new that, like new mechanics everywhere for like the players, movement. And I really think that's become oversaturated, movement shooters, all that stuff. But what Halo, I think, really, what Bungie understood was that it's the small things that you change in a game that really are going to be what matters. Because adding running to Halo doesn't do much. It doesn't add anything, and honestly, in most cases, it would partly take away from the Halo experience by just making it would ruin a lot of the flow of combat, and you'd have to rebalance the game around running. So it wouldn't be really a way that would intrinsically help the player, or at least make the game more fun. It would maybe add more movement or make you feel faster in the moment, but in essence it would just hurt a lot of the flow of combat that Halo brilliantly displays, which is that you kind of just you do a lot of cover taking. You have to be strategic. You have to be, since your character's not some super fast Titan, you wanna take ground as much as you can. You wanna get to the next piece of cover as best you can. Um, you know, and it's and like you just kind of, and the more enemies you kill, even like small steps, even small steps in the right direction, like with killing, like say a grunt who has a bunch of explosives, or a brute, allows you, it gives you the opportunity to keep pushing the battlefield further and further because of their brilliant level design in Halo. It is truly brilliant level design and arena design because it feels natural. And because you're not just some super fast Titan, you're a floaty guy and you can't really take too many shots unless you're playing on the easy difficulties. You really do have to play with respect to your enemies. You have to respect what they can do. And so do they, because or else they'll die. And that flow of combat of get an inch, take a mile, is such a fun gameplay loop. It captures your interest at every moment. But if with what so many games don't know, and I'm sorry I haven't gotten to my point yet, is that what so many games like lack the knowledge of is that in a sequel it doesn't need to be all give people new movement mechanics or anything. What a lot of things just need to be is to make the sandbox, is to give you more options to influence the sandbox around you. Halo 2 added more weapons, it added more enemies, it added stuff like dual wielding, which allows you to interact with the sandbox even further than you already could. Halo 3 improved upon that even further with the equipment system, because now instead of just adding running and being lazy or something, they add stuff like the grav lift, they add stuff like the bubble shield. It can really get you out of a pinch in combat, but it also can fundamentally change how you approach each combat scenario. So like people that don't use equipment, they still have a way that they can interact and do a part of a mission. But people that like to use, equipment can interact with the sandbox even further than like just, if they were to add running or add like a ground pound or anything. It that's what I like about Bungie's design. They know that the smallest changes to a game are the most impactful. Just adding stuff like a deployable barrier is already enough to change how you're going to be dealing with the enemies around you. A brute is not going to be able to, it'll give you time to like get behind cover to deal with a brute. It allows you to get out of danger, put up a shield to stop a brute from running around the edge and tanking you, brute shotting you, and killing you. That is what it allows you to do. It allows you, so with the grab lift, it allows you to get to a higher position You know, it allows you to get to higher vantage points. It allows you to get out of a sticky situation, or it even allows you to get to an enemy flank, surprise enemies. That's what I really like about just the Bungie design. They add on to what they already had without making it feel artificial. It's natural parts of the environment that you pick up, that you are granted, and that's really what makes them, I guess, just genius game designers. At least the old Bungie was, because they knew that the sandbox is why people had fun. You know, the movement is serviceable, and the movement is completely fine. In all honesty, I like it this way. I like it feeling like this. And you know what? Adding running can work, and maybe they could add it. And granted, they will add it. I know that, but you know, it's not something that would ever need to be added, especially since you already had vehicles. And if you add stuff like running, then that makes the vehicles even less important. You know, that makes them feel less important. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah. Bungie, I think, just had a very genius way of designing levels that I really think not many companies understand anymore. Um, you know, because I just really feel like movement options has really taken the hold of excusing, you know, I don't know. People just think that, oh, the more movement options you have, the better the game is. But I disagree. Having good movement options is a good thing to have, and it's satisfying. But your overall, I feel like you should focus on your overall world and your base game's uh, sandbox and your base game's gameplay just being fun, instead of just artificially just making everything. I don't know. I'm yapping, but that's all I really want to say is that it really is such a great trilogy. They knew what they were doing. They know extremely well on how to design games. And this is one of the best trilogies I've ever played. Halo 3 is my favorite so far. Can't wait to play Reach. ODST was great. Short, but very fun. Yeah, that's about it. And I guess I'll see you guys later. And I love the Halo series, and I can't wait to go on to Reach.